so wholeheartedly against the one-size-fits-all sales training crap. You've got to develop what's good for you, right? You have to create your own golf swing. You have to develop your own way you play guitar. There is no perfect way. Growing up in Boston, I did not say a word probably the first 17 years of my life. I mean, mimes looked at me and like, that dude's quiet. No dates, no dances, no proms, nothing. I was deathly afraid of people. When it came time to give book reports, I'd throw up in the bathroom. I mean, that's how much anxiety I had around people. So somehow I got into a really expensive business school in Boston and had to help my parents figure out a way to pay for it. So my dad was a truck driver, drove 2 trucks, 18 hours a day, so I could have a better life. That's why I worked my butt off. My mom was an administrative assistant at a bank. We didn't have a ton of money, so I wanted to get a job to help. So I answered this job ad, and there were these flyers about this size and littered all over campus, and it said $10 an hour, part-time job, and a phone number. And I was looking for all kinds of jobs, and I was just gonna take anything really that was simple and easy and I could do it around classes. So I called the number and I said, hey, what's this job you've got all over school? And they said, it's sales. And I remember saying to the lady, I said, so would I have to like talk to anybody? Or she's like, yeah, you have to talk to people. What's wrong with you? I said, well, don't you have a desk job or data entry or something? And she goes, no. I said, well, what would we be selling? And she said, we'll let you know when you get down here. So I didn't really have anything else to do, so I went down to the interview and I got hired, and their hiring process was very rigorous, right? They grabbed me by the wrist just to see if, that I had pulse, and so I did, and so I got hired. So I went back and told my parents, and for some context, my parents are the Costanzas from Seinfeld, so that explains how I ended up like this. But nevertheless, my dad said, how'd it go, Stevie? Did you get the job? I said, I did, Dad. And he goes, great, what are you gonna be doing? And I said, I think I'm gonna sell knives door to door. And many of you know the Cutco story, so. My dad looks at me and he goes, are you a moron? So you can see the uplifting and enlightening experience I had with my parents. And I looked at him and I go, what? He goes, Stevie, don't be a schmuck. You're gonna sell knives? You don't even talk. Because I don't want to hear another word. Go get a real job. So of course, turn to Mom and go, hey Ma, can I have 150 bucks for this knife thing? So of course, Mom gives me the money, and I started selling Cutco knives. And this was freshman year of college. By senior year, I was #1 in the country selling Cutco knives. So I don't want to hear the stuff about, oh, she was born to be in sales, he was born to be in sales. I'm the last human being on earth that you would ever think would be good at sales. And so after about 7 years working with Cutco and in leadership, I decided to take a break from sales and ended up working in a Penske truck rental place in Massachusetts. And I'll never forget this. I had to move trucks around, and it's 12 degrees and snow, and I gotta make sure I wipe off the windshield so you can see the VIN number, and it was brutal. And so I realized that I wasn't cut out for regular jobs. And so I ended up going to a job fair. And the last booth was the insurance company with the duck. And many of you know Aflac. And so talking to the recruiter there, and he looks at my resume and he goes, you made money selling Cutco knives? And I'm like, yes, sir, a lot of it. And then he saw the #1 thing in the country and he goes, you can do Aflac. And I said, what the hell is Aflac anyway? And he goes, doesn't matter. And that was my job interview. And so I got hired, started in October, and proceeded to sell 0 policies. And then November, of course, came, and that was gonna be better, and 0. But then December came, which obviously was gonna be just a life-changing month, 0 again. But I was promised by my manager that I was gonna make $5 grand by the end of the year. So to help do that, I sold my first policy, and it was to myself. But at least I sold something. Fast forward to January, ended up getting my first real client, who proceeded to steal all the Aflac deductions we took from the employees' payrolls and went to Mexico, never to be seen again. So by my 4th month in Aflac, I owed Aflac $3,100. Great start, huh? So tell you that to tell you this. The rest of my career in Aflac, in my first full year, I set rookie records in New England, spent 13 successful years there. In the middle of my career, 59,000 agents did worse than me opening new accounts. So I figured I had something that, worked. And what I learned from both Cutco and Aflac is that I didn't follow what they told me to do. I did my own thing. I came up with my own ideas, and you don't have to do what everybody tells you to do. I say this and I do that, and they say this, and if they say an objection, then you say, just be a normal person. It's not that hard. And so that's sort of what I get to do now in speaking and training and coaching and podcasting and all these great things I get to do around the country and around the world to show people that you can be really successful in sales, and you don't have to do it a certain way. Just be yourself and take care of your customers and clients and do what's right for them, and tell the truth, and you probably sell a lot of stuff. I don't know who told me this, but when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember what you said. And as long as you believe in what you love to do and what you sell, the sky's the limit for you.